What's up, everybody? You cannot see me. Let's see if I can fix that. Yeah. Oh, there you go. What's up, everybody? This is the Oklahoma Prepper. And the S has H the F. That's right. The stuff has hit the fan. The power is out. So, I'm not at all worried. Of course, I got my battery powered everything, my solar powered everything, and I'm really not too worried about it. The only thing is it's a little bit boring because now I can't sit and watch YouTube like I like to do. So I'm going to see if I can get a video of this real quick. It's my little, can't really see it. I will post a picture of this little thing right here. Alright, there you go. Hope you guys, that's my little hand crank flashlight. You just squeeze the handle and it generates electricity for the LEDs. It's a dual LED flashlight. So like I said, the stuff has hit the fan. We had apparently multiple cities in my county have lost power. And even out in the country, there's several different power companies out here. For example, our city is its own power company. The city buys the power from another company, and they just mark it up and then sell it to us. And then there's about three other companies. One of them is pretty much a mom and pop shop. And the other two is, Oklahoma, or AEP, and PSO, I believe. Right, AEP is PSO. Okay, so there's, I know for a fact there's AEP, PSO, there's the mom and pop, and then our town's electric service. So, from what I understand, everything is out of power. I know some, if I look out my front door, I can see in the distance some street lights out in the country, so I know that somebody still has power out there. I'm not quite sure exactly who it is. So, so why am I not worried about it? Well, because I'm prepared. That's the whole point of this, is to be prepped for everything possible. For example, my wood stove is going and it is nice and warm. I do have my jacket on. That's because I'm going to let the lady dog out every once in a while, and I just didn't take it off. Didn't even think about taking it off whenever I walked back in the house. But the house is, and I'm actually getting hot. I'm going to have to take this off. So, I have, like I said, like you guys saw on the live stream, I do have a kettle of hot water on the wood stove, just constantly there. It is drinking water. I do have another kettle of water just for rehumidifying the air. That is not drinking water. So let's say, hang on a second. I'm going to try to change flashlights. Okay. Not a big fan of this, but whatever. I don't like using my Streamlight. It's too powerful, uses up too much electricity. But the other one is just a small hand crank. This one's rechargeable as well. So, like I was saying, as you guys saw before, I have a hot water kettle of hot water on the wood stove, and I have lots and lots and lots of oatmeal. So if I get hungry, I can just put some oatmeal in a little cup, and then pour hot water over it and have something to eat. I also have a deep freeze that's full of meat. Got some pork chops in there, just some random stuff. And if I need to, I can set that out to thaw and wrap it up in aluminum foil, throw it in the wood stove. So I'm not really too worried about it. The only thing, like I said, is that the internet's the router's powered, so I'm not too worried about that. Just gets a little boring. So I figured I'd go ahead and make this video to kind of give you guys a demonstration of what this is. I mean, what this looks like. So uh, I use an old cell phone for my YouTube videos and recording. Sometimes I'll use my new one, but I try to use this one for memory. So it's charging it on the laptop. I do have both my power banks charged up, but my laptop is not doing any good without the internet, so I'm just going to use it as a big power bank. So, and this one has a full battery, and this one that I'm on will last for about 3 days without messing with it. Even running Spotify constantly, it'll last still a couple of days. So, so here's the deal. I was on Facebook a minute ago through Cell Signal, and there's a lot of people complaining, the power's off. I have no way heating my house. This isn't something that we haven't done in the past. This isn't something that's new. We've had ice storms before. We've had winter weather. We've had storms knock out power lines. This isn't anything new. So there's really, the only excuse, there really isn't much of an excuse, because for my wood stove, it cost me about $180, and I'll save up about $20 a week or $20 paycheck. I understand sometimes it's tough, but at the same time, it's the difference between life and death. I mean, it really is. Let's say, for example, the power goes out, and you're snowed in your house, and you're in a total electric house, and people can't get to you to get you out. The roads are that bad. You're going to most likely freeze to death. And I hate to be very blunt and graphic, but that's really the truth. My sister has a total electric house, and I told her that she needs to get at least gas backups. You can get a gas propane bottle, and run a line through the floor, run a line somehow, plumb it through the house, and you can run a gas backup. Get a little one of them wall heaters, those wall gas heaters, and run it that way, and you have a gas backup. So, and her house is big enough that she won't have to worry about carbon monoxide. But her house is big enough that a small heater won't heat it. My other sister, she has a hybrid house, gas and electric. My parents, where my sister just moved out of, has a hybrid house, gas and electric. I have a total electric house with wood stove. I saw a lot of people on Facebook posting, so glad I got this wood stove a couple years ago, or so glad I've got a wood stove, or so glad I've got gas backups. That's exactly how it is. Get you some cheap LED. Doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, this Streamlight Stinger is a $300 flashlight. It doesn't have to be expensive. This little hand crank flashlight, this is like probably a $2 flashlight. And this thing is, I mean, look at that. That thing is bright. I don't like that. It's bright. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to be putting in a lot of money to prep. Solar panel kit from Harbor Freight, $189. Get you a couple of used batteries that are still in decent condition, recondition them, and you've got yourself a decent solar kit. Get an alternator from an old vehicle, get an old fan, put it together, wire it up. Now you've got a wind turbine. You just got to know what you're doing. You got to know how things work and how to do certain things. So I'm not too worried. I mean, I'm seriously, I wish there was I feel like I'm wasting wood because my wood stove is actually like kind of too hot, and I've got the damper closed and the door and the vent closed, so I feel like it's kind of too hot. But the wood in there that's in there is green. You know, it's not seasoned, so I know that. Let me try to cut this down just a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. That'll save a little bit of battery power, and you can still see me. So the wood isn't seasoned, so it's going to burn a while. Um, and it's a big chunk. It's a big log. So it doesn't really take much to heat up. Heat up. And honestly, the only reason I have this is because I haven't. The only reason I'm using my flashlight is because I haven't got up and walked over there to grab my railroad lantern. I've got a railroad lantern that's full of kerosene in it. It's got kerosene or lamp oil. So you know, it's whatever you want to do. It's all personal preference as to how you want to prepare for a grid down situation, and this is a grid down situation. The power grid in my area is down. Um, so take into consideration. If you want to know what you're going to do, what it's like for a grid down situation, let a storm knock your power out. Let an ice storm knock your power out. Let overheated transformers knock your power out. You'll really, really understand then what it's like to have be on off grid, be on a grid down situation. Let me see what time it is. It's midnight 50. It's 12:50 in the morning. Um, I haven't heard anything about when they're gonna um, turn the power back on. To be honest with you, it really is not a bother to me. I mean, other than the fact, like I said, again, it's kind of boring. I've got books I can read. Uh, I've got some drawing I can do to plan out for my house. I've got a lot of things I can do, but right now I just kind of want to sit here and enjoy the peace and quiet because it's very rare. I mean, it's not rare for me too. Excuse me, because especially since the new house has come in, the tiny house. Um, I like to go out there and sit on the front porch and just. You've seen my view. I like to go out there and sit on the front porch and just stare off into the country because that's all that is. Just a perfect old uh, my little hideaway there. So I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the peace and quiet without the computer. And like I said, if I get hungry and the power's still off, I'll I'll take you guys along. But until then, I'll update you guys here in about an hour and see. If not, then I'll update if the power comes back on. So I'll give you guys an update here in just a second, and it'll be a second for you guys. It'll probably be an hour for me. So, all right. So I'll be back with you guys here shortly. All right, guys. So it is now 3:30 in the morning. I think power's been off for about right at about 5 hours. I think the power went out at 10:30 earlier. I'm getting tired. I actually got a little warm, so I actually had to open the door and let some warm air, some cool air in. But yeah, so power's still out. All of my stored electricity is going strong. My power banks, uh, my little cheap one that was only good for one charge, charged up my phone real well, and now it's dead. I was playing on my phone. I've been playing on my phone for a little bit. My tablet still has about, let me see. Still has about 50% power. And I've been playing offline games on it. Don't know when power is going to come back on, but when it does, I will I'm getting tired. When it does, I will let you guys know. If not, then I will let you guys know. I will give you guys an update on how everything is going in the morning here in a little bit, and we'll see. We'll go from there. So, so basically, like I said, um, I've seen a lot of people on Facebook stressing about the power being off, and I'm a little bit worried about it. I'm not too worried about myself because, like I said, I've got all my flashlights, my electronics, and everything charged up. Just a little bit of boredom. The only thing I'm worried about is my parents. My mom is on oxygen and a CPAP. My dad really doesn't need much of anything. I mean, he's not on anything like that. I would just rather him have a way of seeing to get around, because I'm pretty sure that he's having trouble getting around if he has to get up and go to the restroom in the middle of the night, or get up and get something to drink, or maybe even a midnight snack. So, um, and I can't quite get to where he's at. It's getting a little bit icy out there. We had another little bit of a shower. I think this was sleet though. We had another little bit of ice come in. I haven't got any phone calls saying that Dad needs help, anything like that. So um, I'm not going to get out and possibly make things worse on anyone else or myself. So I suggest that, in a situation like this, where this was caused by an ice storm, if you do not have to get out, don't. Um, it's not worth it. It's not worth risking possibly your life or someone else's to get out and go ride around or do something. If there's things that you guys need, if you guys need to go to the stores, or need to go somewhere, and or go to the hospital or something, and EMS, or it's not something that you feel that you need to bring an ambulance in on, then by all means, but be very careful. Drive well under the speed limit. Um, if you need to take cat litter, just the little gravel, the cheap cat litter, that stuff is a really good traction aid. So if you get if you stop at a stop sign, or if you're in a parking lot somewhere and you're kind of iced in, then you can throw some of that under the tires, and that helps you give you traction. But be careful, and like I said, if you're in a situation like this, then you'd probably need to have ice cleats, because they really, I promise you, it's like walking on dirt with those things. It's like walking on gravel. There is 100% traction with those. So let me blind myself. So like I said, I'm doing pretty well. I haven't got hungry yet. Um, but like I said, if I do, I've got a kettle full of hot water on the stove, on a wood stove, and I've got some instant rice, instant mac and cheese. Let's see, I've got all kinds of just add water stuff. Ramens. I actually hate those things. I've ate them so much, and I used to love them, but I just got so sick of them. Um, Oatmeal's probably one of my favorites. And if I do, like I said, if I that's something I don't want, none of that, then I'll just get into the deep freeze, uh, put put some meat over the wood stove on a rack to thaw out a little bit. Wrap it in foil, put it on the rack, and let it thaw out for a little bit. Then separate it, season it, spice it, make it all good, and wrap it in foil, throw it in the wood stove. I've got, you saw in my live video, I believe it was my live video. Yeah. I've got my little plastic fork on one end and spoon on the other, so I can easily make something to eat and eat it really easily. So those are some things that you guys want to keep in mind. Dang it! While you're preparing for a situation like this, I do have plastic forks and other utensils like that, but I try not to use them try not to use it that much because it's really hard to recycle that stuff. I mean, it can be done, but a lot of people just don't do it. As you guys know, I do recycle my paper, of course. Anything that is safe to burn, paper, woods, anything like that, goes in the wood stove. It gets mixed up with my paper log mix, and then goes into my wood stove after being processed. Metal, aluminum cans, aluminum foil, stuff like that, metals go, they get set aside and stored for to take to the recycling yard. Money there. And then plastics do go in the trash, but it's labeled as plastics for recycling. So yeah, it's a little bit about, I don't know, I guess in case you wanted to know about my trash, that's what it is. So let's see, I think that's going to be it. If there's anything else happen interesting, then I'll definitely let you know here in a second. It might be an hour or two for me, but it'll be a second for you. As far as I know, like I said, my little hand generated flashlight is doing pretty good. You can see how bright that is, and it's pretty bright on my face. Quit shining in my face, and we'll start shining it right there. So yeah, I've got my power bank. One of my power banks is still full. I still have another one. I have total of 3 power banks. One is dead. It's my solar power bank. I could just set that out in the sun, let it charge if we get any sun today. The other 2, they are ready to go if I need them. And I think I'm going to sit here and probably wait a few more minutes to play another game of Scrabble, and then probably hit the hay. So if anything changes, I'll let you guys know, but I will give you an update here in just a second. So stay tuned for that, and hope you guys are enjoying your weather a lot better than me. It is 8:30 in the morning. The power literally just came on as I was getting ready to leave the house to go out of town for a day or two. So let's see, almost it's 10 hours, right at 10 hours. The power's been off for 10 hours. It got down to as low as 27 last night. So those individuals that have total electric house with no gas or wood backups were probably pretty upset last night. I'm excited to go check on my sister to see how she did, because she has total electric. So yeah, 8:30 in the morning. It's 8:34 now. Excuse me. I slept fine. In fact, got too hot for me a couple of times, so I had to crack a window and let some of the cool air in. So, and I do that every once in a while. Sometimes I'll accidentally overload the wood stove and just kind of get it a little bit too cold. But I'm very happy with. Oh, look, there's a city right there. So I'm pretty happy with the way things turned out in my my grid down situation. So it's something to consider, guys. And it really isn't even icy at all. Like, it rained a little bit yesterday, and honestly, I don't even know why the power went out, because like there is no ice. Like, this is no ice storm. And I think it's funny that all of the schools have shut down in the county, and there is nothing. And they do this every once in a while. But I don't know. I'm going to end it with that, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and that notification bell. That way you can get notified anytime I post new content. Also, I will be doing a live show every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. If I'm not doing it live on my channel, I'll be on with the Oily Prepper, aka Oily's Humble Home, aka the Oily Prepper. So, alright, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Stay safe and keep prepping. Yeah, there's some ice buildup in some parts. We're in Texas now, so the further west we go, the more ice buildup there is. Alright, guys, it's see what time is it? It's 12:02. They're at the in-laws' house. The dryer is going right next to me. You see the steam coming from the vent. A lot of sleet. They say a little bit of snow, but it's mostly just sleet. A lot of ice on the ground. So, and this, again, this is all sleet. This is all sleet. We're looking at the front yard now. So this is all sleet. Sleet and rain. Sleet and freezing rain. There's seriously a random pillow in the driveway. Huh. So sleet and freezing rain. So basically what that's telling me that is the first layer is actually freezing rain. So there's ice buildup on the road and then sleet on top of that. And as people drive on these roads, they're just going to pack that sleet in, and it's just going to make it more and more of a slick environment. So you can imagine, for example, if you were to pack snow down really hard, it just turns into a really slick sheet of ice. And that's pretty much what's happening with this freezing rain and sleet. Is the same thing. Is you're just packing down into ice. And before the in-laws get off work, I did put some cat litter down and swept off the front porch for traction. The driveway is it's the driveway. I just hope that they don't slip in it. So yeah, yesterday was day before yesterday was 75. Yesterday morning was 70. Today is in the high 20s. So actually, let me see what the temperature is. The temperature right now is 26 degrees. Actually, the temperature is 26 back home. It's probably about the same around here. We're only about an hour away. So it's really cool. Really, little bit of a breeze. It's a pretty cold breeze, and I'm just wearing the t-shirt. So I'm going to go back inside and warm up a little bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that video right here. I'm going to cut the video off right here. So if you guys are watching this, wherever you are, just a little advice. You know, anytime you're watching this, whether it be in a few months or in a couple of years, you know, no matter where you are or when you're watching this, this is always good advice to have. You know, when the weather's like this, stay home. Stay home. You guys saw in the video coming up here that the roads were really clear. There was no sleet, no rain on the drive over. And as soon as we got here, it started this freezing rain. We stopped and got some groceries for dinner tonight, and then freezing rain and sleet. And now look at it. And this was about 2 hours ago. So yeah, guys, take advice. Take this from me. Don't drive on this stuff. Just stay home. Plan a couple of days ahead of time, or maybe even a week ahead of time. I know the forecast is not really great, but anytime you get the possibility of freezing rain or sleet and snow next week in the forecast, go ahead and go get groceries. Go shopping. Start prepping. Get your firewood cut. Get it ready. Get it close to the house, and you know, your wood stove cleaned out if it's just an emergency or a backup thing, or if you've got a gas heating, gas backups, get those ready. Get them cleaned out. Get you a can of air duster and spray it. Blow out those jets and blow out the heating elements. So, guys, and if you don't have any gas or wood backups, then if you have a generator, make sure it's running, make sure it's ready. And if you have a built-in generator at the house, test it. Test it once a month. I believe that's what they recommend. So, guys, stay safe, stay warm, keep prepping.